The crack of a hand striking skin echoed through the cabin. Gasps tore from passengers as the flight attendant's palm left a red mark on Maya Brooks's cheek. "People like you don't belong in first class," the attendant sneered, waving for security. Phones shot up, passengers whispered in shock, and the captain's voice crackled with threats of removal. Maya didn't shout. She didn't plead. She simply lifted her phone. What no one knew, she wasn't a passenger. She owned the entire airline. The seatbelt sign glowed overhead as passengers settled into their plush leather recliners. The hum of engines filled the cabin, steady and reassuring. But in row 1A, tension was about to erupt. Maya Brooks, tall, composed, and dressed with quiet elegance, adjusted her travel case under the seat. She placed her boarding pass on the tray for the attendant to collect. The cabin smelled of citrus polish and fresh linen. It should have been ordinary. It wasn't. The flight attendant, Cheryl Vaughn, picked up the slip, eyes narrowing. "This can't be right." "It's my boarding pass," Maya said calmly. Cheryl's voice rose, sharp and deliberate. "First class isn't for people like you. How did you get this seat?" Heads turned. Conversation stuttered to silence. Phones discreetly angled up, red dots blinking. A businessman in 2C frowned. A college student whispered to her friend, "She paid like everyone else. What's the issue?" Cheryl didn't care. "You're in the wrong cabin. Move to economy, or I'll move you myself." Maya folded her hands in her lap, her stillness striking against the attendant's venom. "I booked this seat. I'm not moving." Cheryl's smirk spread wide. "Security." The cabin door opened, and Officer Blake Harris, security detail for the airline, stepped in. Stocky, jaw clenched, he projected authority. "What's the problem?" "She's a fraud," Cheryl announced. "Stole a boarding pass, trying to scam her way into first class." Maya's brows arched slightly. "Scan it again." Blake grabbed the pass and fed it into the scanner. It blinked green. Twice. Cheryl waved it off. "Machines glitch. People lie. Just get her out." Gasps ran through the cabin. The college student muttered, "It said green, twice." Livestreams surged online. Hashtags already forming. Airline scandal. Leather stay. Blake moved closer. "Stand up, ma'am." "No," Maya said, her voice steady. The defiance only fueled Cheryl's cruelty. She leaned forward, and with sudden force, slapped Maya across the face. The sound cracked the air like a whip. The cabin erupted. Passengers shouted. Phones shot higher. "Did she just hit her?" someone gasped. Maya's cheek reddened, but her composure never broke. She lifted her gaze, calm, unshaken. "Are you finished humiliating yourself?" Cheryl sneered. "You're done. You'll never fly this airline again." But Maya was already unlocking her phone. With one swipe, she dialed a single contact and placed it on speaker. "This is Brooks," she said evenly. "I'm aboard Flight 762. Initiate protocol." A crisp voice answered instantly. "Confirmed, Ms. Brooks. Executing audit lockout now." The overhead screens flickered. Boarding systems froze. Cheryl's tablet beeped red. Access denied. Blake's security badge vibrated, then flashed inactive. Panic rippled through the staff. What's happening?" Cheryl stammered. Maya's voice was low, razor sharp. "What's happening is that your arrogance just collided with the truth," the intercom chimed. A new voice carried through the cabin. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is executive operations. Effective immediately. Please remain seated as we resolve a personnel issue. Thank you for your patience." Passengers erupted in whispers. The businessman in 2C muttered, "She called corporate in real time." Cheryl's bravado cracked. Who are you?" Maya slipped her ID from her coat pocket, placing it flat on the tray for all to see. The gold seal glistened. SkyVista Airlines, CEO and owner, Maya Brooks. The cabin froze. Cheryl's lips parted, words deserting her. Blake staggered back, eyes wide. "You tried to throw the owner of this airline out of her own seat," Maya said. On camera, in front of hundreds of witnesses. Passengers erupted in applause, some standing, some chanting, "Let her stay!" Phones streamed. numbers climbing past 50,000 viewers. The cabin manager, Douglas Kane, hurried forward, sweat beading his forehead. "Ms. Brooks, please, I apologize. This is a terrible misunderstanding." "It's not a misunderstanding," Maya cut him off. "It's a culture, and it ends tonight." She raised her voice just enough for the cabin and every camera to hear. "Effective immediately, Cheryl Vaughan, Douglas Kane, and Officer Blake Harris are terminated. Security privileges revoked, access stripped. Remove them from this aircraft." The intercom chimed again. "Confirmed. Credentials deactivated. Replacement staff en route." Cheryl's face drained of color. "No, you can't. Please." "You should have thought of that before you raised your hand," Maya said, her tone like steel. Passengers cheered as security escorted Cheryl, Douglas, and Blake off the plane, their protest drowned out by applause. The influencer in row 5 yelled into his livestream, "She owns the whole airline. She just fired them on the spot." When silence returned, Maya stood. She turned to face the cabin. Her voice was steady, deliberate, powerful. "Dignity is not a privilege. Respect is not optional. What you witnessed tonight wasn't a glitch. It was arrogance. And arrogance has no place in the skies." The cabin roared with approval. Hashtags flooded social media. Maya Brooks, Josh Airline owner, respect in the skies. Maya returned to her seat, buckled in, and pressed the call button. A new attendant, pale with nerves but professional, appeared. "Ms. Brooks, may I get you some water?" "Yes," Maya said softly. "And make sure every passenger here is served first." The plane lifted off minutes later, engines roaring into the night. But inside, passengers whispered not about turbulence or weather, but about what they had witnessed. Humiliation overturned, arrogance shattered, justice delivered mid-air. By morning, the video dominated every platform. News anchors replayed the slap, the lockout, the reveal. Headlines screamed, "Flight attendant slaps black woman. She owned the airline." Shares of SkyVista dipped, then rebounded stronger than ever. Customers flocked to book tickets, declaring they wanted to fly with an airline whose owner valued dignity over profit. Maya Brooks released one statement, just 13 words. "The skies belong to everyone. Fly with respect or don't fly at all." And with that, justice didn't just soar, it became law at 30,000 feet. If this story shook you, don't let it fade into silence. Make it echo. Smash that like button to show you stand for dignity. Share this video so others see the truth. And drop a comment with where you're watching from and the moment that hit you hardest. Subscribe now. And don't forget to turn on notifications. Because stories like this prove arrogance can be crushed, justice can rise, and respect will always find its voice. Together we make sure it's never ignored.